Hello, welcome back to my channel. I wanted to do what I wish I knew at 16 because I think there's a lot of advice I would give myself when I was 16. I'm now 20, so it's been 4 years. It's enough time for me to reflect and look in hindsight at what I wish I would have known. I've got notes, but I will probably just dabble in lots of different subjects. I wish I went to uni. Now, God, some people will watch this and think, yeah, you should have. Debt is ridiculous and you end up paying it until you retire, basically. But I do wish I went to uni, at least tried it. I do think I would have enjoyed it. I wish I felt like you are just in education for so long that when you start to get a choice of going to education, it then seems like, well, no, I want a break. And then if you have a break, you get to enjoy that break, and then you obviously wouldn't want to go back. So I was like, I can't do a gap year because obviously I know I'm not going to go back. Like, I felt like if I had a gap year, that would have been it. It just didn't feel right, and the one I went to didn't feel right. I wish I went and saw more, and then I wish I went to one. Because uni is something that feels a bit daunting to me, especially like the social aspect. Like, it's a very social thing. But I do think if I went, I would have really had fun. I wish I didn't let people influence my decisions. Obviously, there's a healthy amount because you are so young that you sometimes do feel like that guidance is very useful, and it is also useful to listen to people, obviously, that have been through certain things and I've been through what you want to go through, and have that experience and have that wisdom. But I do think I wish I didn't let some people have that influence. I just really wish that I had my own brain a bit more and I guess thought about what I wanted, but I feel like that's something that's really hard for me. I really struggle with like knowing what I want rather than like what people expect of me or what I think other people would do. I really struggle to decipher what it is that I want. Sit on decisions. Sometimes I feel like I was very impulsive, and even when you waited a week on something, when something's like a very big decision, to then just go, yeah, I feel like some decisions I should have waited on, some things I should have sat on, some things I should have just reconsidered because I don't know if I'd be in the same position now. I wish I experienced more before having a baby. It's just different. Like, people that say you can do anything you want and you can still have the same life after having a baby, you can't. It's just like the practicality of it is literally like below the floor. But it's kind of annoying because it's only since having a baby that I really have that want to go and do new experiences, whereas before having a baby I was very like comfortable in my own space. I am still very much a homebody. Still don't like the idea of new experiences whatsoever, but I'm very much more like wanting to do it. Like, I want to find new stuff and do new things, and just, yeah, I really want to make the most of my life, especially now that I'm in my 20s. Like, I really want to be able to look back in my 40s, 50s, 60s, whatever it is, and go like, I really had a good 20s and 30s, especially now because I felt like my teens were quite underwhelming. I really wish I did more in my teenhood. A lot of this is just acceptance as well. Like, I'm telling this advice to people that are like 16, 17, 18, whatever, even like my age. Or just advice to people that have not yet had a baby. If I had advice for when to have a baby, wait. If you want to have a baby now, by all means go ahead. But like, if you're considering like, I've not really ever had a baby before, I don't know how it's gonna be, if I could go back, I would definitely wait till I was at least maybe 26, to really get some more experience in and have more fun and live a bit more freely. Because although, like, yes, to an extent I can still go out and still have fun, my brain is on such high alert. I can't even get drunk anymore because my brain clearly is just so overworked that it's like bam, 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 bam. Like, I can't relax. This has got to be done, this has got to be done. I've got this tomorrow and this the next day, and did that person remember this, and did I remember to, I don't know, pay this bill? Like, I just don't relax. I really don't. Be as educated as much as you can. I love reading books that are very educational. I want to do like courses. I would love to do a degree at some point. I don't know if I will, but I do have interest in doing like a psychology degree. I love psychology. Knowing facts and like statistics, I can't say that word, and having that wisdom, I think, makes you feel very good about yourself. I personally think one of the best things you can be is skillful and have a lot of knowledge and be wisdom Be wise. I genuinely think that's one of the best things you can be. I have a lot of like interests, but I don't really have any like hobbies, and I don't really care about hobbies. Like, this is my hobby. And I love doing it. This is my hobby. But in terms of like hobbies, in terms of like golf, or when people, I don't even know what people do for hobbies. Dance. I mean, obviously some of these cross over into like sports and activities, but they're still hobbies. I read sometimes, but I don't read enough to class it as a hobby. But I just love this. I love content creation. I love editing my content and then doing it and then like feeling like I've accomplished something, and maybe that's just a validation thing, but I absolutely adore it. And if I could go back at 16, I would get on that social media grind. I've always had a passion for it, but the motivation has really sucked. The last like 2 months, I've just, I don't know what it is, but I just have this desire constantly, and it's not settled yet, which I'm really glad about. Like, it's not, obviously there's blips that people have, even people that have been creating content for years and years and years and years, they still have moments where they might put out some pre-made content, or they might go on a little break, because it is, I don't want to say it's exhausting, because I don't want to then invalidate people who do physically exerting jobs. I've got to create content, I don't know how. I feel like in, say, an office job, you get given tasks, whereas with this, it's purely creative, and you've really got to think of what to do and outside the box sometimes, and put something together, which is really fun, but it's a little bit overwhelming when you don't know what to create. So you have to look somewhat presentable, or on the other hand, you might be making some really realistic content and really raw and authentic content, and you obviously might look whatever. You might look tired, you might look exhausted, which I love. I love that style of content, and I wish I could make it, but then sometimes, you know, when you just look at yourself and you think, I can't even justify that. I'm now a mum, which is an accomplishment in itself. I wish, there's a lot of things I wish I knew. I wish I knew not to care what people think, because people think some mad stuff, and I still very much care what people think, so it's something that I really wish I instilled though from a younger age, because I think the more the time goes on that you think a certain way, the more concrete that is in your brain. Like, I really feel like I've matured in the sense of like the person I want to be, whereas before it was very much I wanted to be careless, I wanted to be impulsive, I wanted to be like hardcore. I don't know what the wording would be for it, but like I really wanted to be just like carefree and like woo, and everyone's like, whoa, she really doesn't care, really doesn't give a shit, like she really just doesn't, you know. Whereas now it's like I want to be a genuine, authentic, real person, and it's not that I didn't want to be that before, but it was kind of like I kind of put myself over the edge and was like, woo. Whereas now I'm a bit more mellow, and I feel like I want to be more down to earth and nice and genuine, and I want people to think I'm a good person, whereas before I wanted people to think I was more of like a careless person, and I don't want to be careless. I don't know why. I think a lot of teenagers have this, and I definitely did, where like you just have that sense of like wanting to be like a badass. Like I just wanted people to think I was cool, and a lot of people have that obviously in school, but I just really wanted people to think that I was a cool person, and I ended up having pretty much no friends anyway. Far and few between. I don't know what the wording is, but I ended up not even really having a group. I do wish I socialised a bit more and put myself out there. Like, I did not put myself out there when I was younger whatsoever. I didn't really message anyone to like me. There's so much I just did not do, and I didn't have the confidence or the motivation to do, and I'm getting better at that now, especially since being a mum. So I feel like people want to see the baby, and it's a bit of a buffer. Like, it's easier for me to socialise, and yeah, it's just very much, it's not comfortable. Socialising for me is not a comfortable aspect. It still feels very performative, and I'm very much learning how to get out of that, and trying to improve that, because I don't want to feel like a performing monkey. Even right now, like I can feel myself getting a bit mentally strained, because this is a sense of performance, but I do like it, I love it. But then sometimes obviously it's like, I could tell like I unintentionally put on a bit of a persona, but I guess for social media that just is, subconsciously you're gonna know that there's so many people that could see you, and yeah. Even if it was just going for a walk, I wish there was a bit more people that I put a bit more effort into socialising with and meeting up with, and because there are friends I have which I see like every few months, and obviously that's not often at all, and then I have friends that I see a little bit more often, and if I'm honest, it's the first time I've actually had friends that I see regularly. I just have such a negative perception of myself, and when that negative perception consumes you, obviously you're automatically going to assume people don't want to see you, or people don't like you, or something along them lines, and it's such a hard mentality to get out of. Such a hard one. I am very negative about myself, but I feel like I have a quite good perception of the world, and that's something I've definitely improved since being a teenager. As I used to have a awful perception of the world, and a very carefree one, as I said, and just negative. Whereas now, like, I feel more grateful for the little things. I feel a bit more motivated and a bit more like things are worth doing, or it's worth living for, or a new experience is worth doing, and doing something on my own is scary, but what about like when I overcome it? Whereas before I would have been very much like, I'm not doing it because I'm not comfortable. And I never got out of that comfort zone, but now I feel like I do. I love to think that I'm independent, but at the same time, I feel like I can be dependent, very much so, especially when it comes to like DIY, or emotionally. I feel like I could be a little bit dependent, especially on a partner. I think there's so much pressure at like 16 to be perfect and to be cool and for everyone to like you and to already have things figured out. I'm 20 and I'm a mum, and I really don't feel like I have anything figured out. I mean, I have my own place. I don't have a car. I can drive, but I don't have a car. I don't feel like I have anything figured out. I feel like all I see is people buying houses and buying cars and growing their social media platforms, or getting a new job, or getting a promotion, and seeing stuff like that makes you feel so behind. Or someone takes their baby out to, I don't fucking know, Peppa Pig World. And I'm like, I can't take my baby there because it would just be really difficult. And obviously there will be a point where we have a car, but I think social media makes you feel like everything is so far out of reach, when really a lot of it is, to be fair, and it's very unrealistic. And people tell you this, but it is true. Like, social media is so unrealistic. The average age to buy a house is literally like 36, yet we still feel like 20 years old, and it's like, come on, we've got to start saving for a house. And maybe we do need to start saving because of the market, but it's not realistic. It's not, I guess we all just want to achieve more than the norm. I feel like I do feel that. I really feel the need to like impress people. Don't know who. Even people that don't even fucking matter to me. It's not like I'm telling you this advice because I'm 20 and I have it all figured out. It's because I'm still making mistakes, and I feel like the advice is very useful for that age. 16 I felt like was so monumental in my character, and I don't feel like I took the opportunity to improve, and I still struggle with that. So if you do, I really relate. Sixth form was weird. Year 11 was weird. It's when I got my first proper boyfriend. It was so just, I felt like mentally chaotic. And if you are in a relationship, like, it's okay. Like, you can have separate lives, and that's the best way to be. I feel like it's very beneficial to not consume each other's lives. There's relationships I see that I feel like they very much consume each other, and sometimes, yeah, I can say that my partner very much does consume my head and consume my feelings and my emotional well-being. But now being a mum, and we don't live together yet, so being a mum, having this life that I have, and him having his life that he has, to a degree, is very beneficial. Because while obviously I want him to move in, like, of course, I do benefit from that free time. I just saw someone in my hallway window. Sorry, now I'm really paranoid. I don't want to be stared at because I've got a whole tripod and camera set up. I just don't want to be, I don't know. I kind of lost my train of thought there. But I'm trying to embrace this time I have on my own, because, I mean, in theory, I'm never going to have this time alone again. Like, this is the last time I'm going to have this time to be me and to be alone. And I'm gonna be fine, but just having that time alone, like if you're in a relationship and you are young, like just have a day to yourself. I know you don't want to, but please have a day or two a week where you are just by yourself. Just do something for yourself. And you may think that obviously being in a relationship is doing something for yourself, but I slowly realised that just being that consumed by someone in a relationship is unhealthy. It's quite frankly really unhealthy, and you'll just start being consumed, and you'll just start being annoyed even when things are okay, and you'll start picking up on things that aren't that important but annoy you. I very much struggle with that. I feel like I could be very emotionally, what's the word? It's not dramatic, because I don't feel like my feelings are dramatic because they're very real, but I do feel like I rely a lot. And when you get comfortable and things start to annoy you, it's so easy to fall into bad habits. And when you're so comfortable with that person, it's so easy to take it out on them. And getting advice from other people, like friends, don't rely on the wrong people. I felt like in the past I've relied on the wrong people, and you will eventually realise who is worth venting to and who's not. And if you have to vent to no one, because I've been there, I've had points in my life where I've vented to absolutely no one, then sometimes you do have periods in your life that are like that. And it sucks. You're going to have periods in your life where things suck ass, and you're going to feel like you're the only person in the world that feels like it. But then one day you'll realise that there was probably loads of people that felt like it. But obviously that's more validating to you, because it's nice to know that you are the one that feels like that. And it's like, well, no one else can truly know how you feel, and that is true, but people can relate. Yeah, it's very isolating. Sometimes life can be very isolating, and mental health can really plummet, and social media does make you feel like an alien sometimes. You go on there and there's so many expectations, and there's so many norms and roles across social media, and I felt like that is the bane of teenagehood, is social media and the expectations and the comparison and the body expectations. And there's just so much advice I could give to my 16-year-old self, and so much information that I, like all my morals and values now and my opinions that I would love to give to her, because it's just mad the world we live in, and how people are, and how the world is. Crazy, absolute crazy. But I hope this helped or gave someone a bit of comfort, or someone was able to relate to this, because I've been seeing it across a couple platforms lately, and I felt like it was a really cool video to recreate. So yeah, I really hope you enjoyed, and I will see you all next time.